Good evening, and welcome to Real Estate 360. My name is Ria Cotton Landry, and I am the broker owner of Cotton Realty. And it is National Home Ownership Month, June 2025. And I am so excited for the series that we have this month, Everything Real Estate. And so, what I'm going to do is just go over really quickly what to expect during Real Estate 360 this month, and then we'll go into today's presentation. So, I'll go ahead and share my screen. So for this year's Real Estate 360, our topics start with tonight, which is this interior designs trends in real estate. And then on June 5th, Thursday at 6 p.m., we have financial wellness checkup. So just checking up on where you should be financially, if it's either credit, um, savings, investments, all of that. Then on Saturday, we have a someone from San Francisco coming in. So there's some ordinances and some changes coming about for new developments when it comes to using gas versus electric. So this Saturday at 10 a.m., we're going to go into what does that look like for San Francisco and the rest of California. Following that, we have understanding real estate appraisals. So appraisals have been in the news a lot lately, and people want to understand, how do appraisers evaluate home prices and how a home is valued compared to their neighbors. So you don't want to miss that. Check that out because that's been a big topic lately. Following that, we have a mortgage market update talking about interest rates. Where are they? Where are they going? And also then multifamily house hacking. So that's all about taking a multifamily home as an investment and using it to leverage your living expenses. And so the new term is house hacking for home ownership in multifamily. And then following that, we have probate and trust, real estate afterlife. So we'll have some information regarding the difference between a probate and a trust and how important those differences are in California, as well as what to expect through the process. And last but not least, we have on June 28th, lending and down payment assistance. So understanding how mortgages work, how you get qualified, and what down payment assistance is available. This is all hosted by Cotton Realty. So Cotton Realty has agents all throughout Northern California and parts of Southern California. And our team consists of myself as the broker, Lanice Spann, Serena Kelly, Kaylee Mason, Claudia Schultz, Keisha Pearson, Toshanique Brown, and Destiny Brown. But today we have with us our lovely stagers, Farah and Latoya with Regal Style and Staging, and they're going to tell us about some trends when it comes to interior design and more about their company. So if you're a real estate professional and you're looking for some classy designs and basically ways to pivot, because all houses are different, all markets are different. So when you're looking at different markets, there's some things that attract a certain clientele that don't attract others. And so you want to make sure that you have someone in place that can identify the needs of the market for the house that you are selling. And then for those that are not like me in interior design, I need somebody to go to say, what should my living room, dining room look like? What's in, what's not, what goes together, how to put different fabrics together. These are the ladies that I turn to. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Latoya, and you can share your screen.
Thank you. So, hello, everyone. Thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with us. Thank you, Ria, for the wonderful intro and all of the projects that we have worked on. I've been working with Ria for years now, so super excited to continue that. So today I'm just going to go over some of the new trends for 2025 and kind of what's trending and where things are going. Also, some tips with AI now that we're all using that, and just other tips and tricks, whether you're trying to save money, if you have small spaces, large spaces, and just going through what we're doing both for the interior design, if you're an owner or if you're looking at a new property, and also if you're looking to stage. So I'll cover all of those. And you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is just me. I feel like our staging is paralleled and very sophisticated, and we try to go to every customer that we can please. So, just one of our slogans. Some background on me. I actually come from corporate America. I have a degree in business from Cal State East Bay, but I've always, since a very young age, wanted to do interior design and staging and things of that sort. But as we all know, life takes us in different directions. So I went to corporate America for many years. But a few years ago, realized I had the time and the energy and the financial beings to start my own business. And that's when I went into interior design. I've always had a knack for being able to walk into rooms and figure out, okay, we need to do this, we need to change this. And it's just something that I really enjoy. And it's actually where my passion is. So I've been fortunate enough to start this business with my partner, Farah, and have really been enjoying every step of it, every step of the way. So I will pass it to her for a quick intro.
Hi everyone, I'm Farah and I am the other half of Regal Style and Staging. Um, I actually have a background in property management, like over 10 years plus, in property management and real estate. Um, I graduated from Cal State East Bay, and I recently started doing project management, which I go in and I do fixer-uppers. And with that, you have to know like the design trends of like what's in. And Toy's going to hit on a lot of the points that what's trendy in 2025. Just in that market, just because I have that market background, I know everything about the market in that area. Um, so Toy's gonna hit that, like what, like the space, like the open concepts, like fixtures and everything. Just like to sell your house faster. And yeah, so I'll let her just get into it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Fun
welcome.
fact, that's actually how we met, was Cal State Hayward in school together. We've taken all our classes together. So today I'm going to just start off with our goals and kind of what we hope to achieve for this. And then we would go over five of kind of the top trends that are happening right now. And then just a couple of bonus micro trends, which mean kind of like smaller trends that aren't as long lasting. But we all know that social media and a lot of things tend to dictate what we do. So we'll go through that. And of course, AI, because we can't talk about anything without incorporating AI these days. And then just a quick spiel on us and why we may be the perfect fit for you. And then any questions that you may have at the end. So, our goals. I want you guys to walk away with something, right? So, I'm going to introduce the five emerging trends that I see. I also want to inspire creative direction, share fresh ideas, even if you're not working with us or if you're looking for a new your space or you're trying to redecorate or redo some of your spaces. I want to give you guys some of those ideas. Also, want to give you readiness to be in the market. Get properties ready so that they can sell quicker, which is the goal for all of us. Want to bridge style and strategy, connect aesthetic trends and practical staging techniques. I want to educate and empower so that we can all have the skill set ourselves. I want to provide real examples. So as we go through this, as I'm going through each of the trends, I will also share some of our real life stages that go with the trends that are trending right now, that are actually out in the public right now. And then I just want to support growth for designers and stagers. So trend number one, soft tech aesthetic. Basically, the definition of this is it's a trend blending advanced technology with human-centered emotional resonant design. It's more rounded units, it's very smooth color palettes, very tranquil. It integrates technology, a well-focused design. If we had, so for each one of these, I will also give you like a definition, the key characteristics, and a design vibe for all five. The design vibe for this one would be kind of Apple meets Scandinavian comfy. Modern, clean, but warm, but still very gentle on the senses. So here's a photo. If you look at what we're looking at, there's quite a few of these seats that you see are very rounded. The colors are very neutral. Even in the bookshelf, you'll see that the bookshelf has some rounding to it. And this is kind of what we call our pure aesthetic. These would be very similar ones that we recently did. If you see this kitchen here that we just recently did in Hayward, very natural tones, very real, very soothing, not a lot going on, calm aesthetic. Then we have trend number 2. These are kind of two parts. There's eco luxury and natural maximalism. For eco luxury, it's a design approach that combines environmental consciousness with high-end aesthetics and comfort. You use a lot of sustainable products. We're talking about flowers, floral, woods, organic fibers. You also want to think about energy efficiency and eco-friendly innovations like your thermostats, your automatic lighting, and things of that sort. Also, you want to think about local people supporting local businesses and fair trade practices. If you want to think about this vibe, think about going to a spa, but that also has sustainability and the usefulness that you can use. So refined, tranquil, and responsible. Natural maximalism is a bold, expressive design style that celebrates nature through layers of organic elements and abundant use of plants. You'll see in a lot of my photos, we love greenery. I always feel natural and at home when I have a lot of lighting and green around me. A lot of layered textures are in right now. You still want the deep, earthy palette. And if we would call this design vibe, it'd be more tries vibrant, lush, and grounded, where bold meets organic. So if you look at some of these, you'll see a lot of the rafting materials, you'll see your throws, you'll see a lot of the woods and the greenery. If you see in the two left right-hand corners, you'll see a lot of the open space and windows. When you have the windows, you feel a lot more airy and at home. It actually makes the space look larger. So you really want to define those areas of your home, whether it's design or staging. And then here are a few where you could see here, this window in the left corner, all of these have large windows, wood panels, lots and lots of greenery, but still your kind of subtle colors. Number 3, colors making a comeback. So these are old, outdated colors. So like your bright reds, your yellows, your greens, your purples, all your bright colors are coming back. More in a nostalgic area. I don't know if you've seen in a lot of like tech, but like it's like the 90s are coming back and other eras are coming back. So a lot of vintage things are coming back. When you think about this, though, you definitely want to think about the rooms that you're putting them in. You may not want to buy a three-piece purple bright sectional, right? Because there's an investment that goes with that. So you want to think about smart pairings that you can do. Like, how can I add some bold colors into the rooms that we already have? Whether it's the warm, like earthy tones, or if it's your grays and whites, but just think about how you can incorporate these bold colors without making a huge investment to still incorporate that into the living spaces. So a lot of these you'll see are incorporated into those soft earthy tones, as I said. Many comeback colors are very muted. So we're talking about like the dark greens, the terracotta. So they're still a brighter color than that neutral, but they are adding a different dimension. So especially if you're staging, you want to, which Ria has told me many times, make sure that we have some stuff that like stands out so that the photos come out great. So you also want to be thoughtful of that when staging. Does everything look muted, or are we bringing across other tones in the room that are going to evoke some feeling and emotion? And like you see the last thing here, emotional connection. When you come in and you see something and it actually is a statement piece, or it makes people talk about it or have a conversation. So we would call the color comebacks more of a bold, modern, confident vibe. So here we go. If you look at these, a lot of them have a bright color accent, but the rest of the room is not. For instance, with the burgundy. And what's important, if you want to, if you're a person that likes to change rooms, or you're a stager who's going through seasonal different things, or it's just a different season when you're having someone do something around your house, you can actually be able to easily change at not a very high expense the burgundy pillows with the burgundy chairs and switch them out for a really like rich navy blue velvet or an emerald green that we were talking about. Same thing in the kitchen below. They have blue chairs, but they have a very standard table. So if you're able to just swap out those chairs for a low cost, you can have a completely new vibe in the house and feel like, okay, I have a whole new decor that's going on here. And same thing for a lot of the other rooms. And if you can't afford very expensive furniture pieces, you could always think about just buying some artwork that's going to enlighten the room, add some color, add some pop, and then throw in some vibrant like vases or books to accent it. As you see in the last right corner, where the room doesn't have bright furniture, but it has a very bright photo artwork, whatever it may be. And even in the simplest case, as I'll show you with us, is just adding pillows or throws. In the last picture, you'll see pink pillows. So just adding something that adds color and life to the room actually speaks volumes to people, and they kind of feel warm and welcome in those areas. Number 4, multifunction and micro zoning. So this takes place more, I would say, predominantly in smaller units because you're actually trying to maximize the space you have. So that you're trying to find how do I fit everything in this studio or a one bedroom loft, but different areas of like how do I maximize my space? And it's not just about small spaces. A lot of times there's larger spaces too. It's like, am I really maximizing the large space that I have? Am I getting the best use of the space that I have in my living area, family room, even bedrooms? So the definition here is multifunction, the use of a single space or piece of furniture to serve more than one purpose. A lot of these can be like you're folding in beds into a wall so that when you're going to bed, it's folded. But if you have company in a small space, you can flop it back up there. It's a beautiful wall with some artwork and no one even knows what's back there. But definitely dual purpose spaces. One room can serve multiple needs. For a lot of us, I have an office that's also an office, but also has a pull-out bed when one of my older kids come and they have a loft there and they can hang out. So just thinking about the functionality of your space. Flexible furniture, you want to definitely have, like I said, sleeper storage sofas, things that have multi-use, as in storage spaces that can maybe be closed behind doors or built into walls, ottomans that you can open up and throw blankets and pillows in, space-saving solutions, built-in vertical storages, adaptability for lifestyle. Our lives change a lot and very frequently, so being able to do remote work, hosting guests. I'm always hosting guests at my home, or just family life. I have a lot of adult kids that come back and visit all the time, and I'd like to be able to have a nice space they can call their own. We would call this design vibe smart, stylish, and efficient. Microzoning, slightly different. It's about defining zones in that space where the other one was actually utilizing the furniture in the different spaces, where here is like maybe using like not air walls, but kind of like the foldable, bendable walls, or kind of like defining spaces to clearly define what is what in a more compact space. And this would be considered clean, cozy, and intentional. So here you see is spaces. If we actually look in the top left-hand corner, you actually have a couch that's set up right next to a dining room table, which most of us would never think of. I would never be like, oh, let's put my couch next to my dining room space. But because of the limited space, they made very, very smart decisions here, and they're able to have a very defined living and dining area in a very small space. And you'll also see that they have the storage space with the bookshelves and things of that sort. Right next to that is an office. We actually recently did one of our Concord stagings. In the third right corner, you'll also see that's another one of those foldable beds that I was talking about. So it's a beautiful room just for sitting and watching TV. They also have a desk for work, but then you can fold the bed up if you need more space and to utilize it. So these are just other examples of how to utilize small spaces. In the corner, you see somewhere you can read a book with a nice window. I guess I love natural lighting. So just different examples of how you can use really small spaces, but actually feel like you have different areas of that space. Last trend, earthy tones and texture fabrics. Probably one of my favorite right now. I'm really loving these colors. I just redid my room downstairs, my guest room with these colors. There's so many different ways you can go because there's so many different tones within that spectrum, and everything doesn't have to match exactly or flow with each other. But because they have all these naturally inspired colors like terracotta, clay, olive, sand, taupe, rust, there's such and such a nice family that you can put tons of stuff and there's tons of possibilities there. The definition here would be a color palette inspired by nature, warm browns, terracotta, olive green, clay, sand, and muted colors. Very versatile. You can base or accent them. They work as a neutral foundation for bold accents I was talking about. These tones would be great to throw a really burgundy pillow on, purple, red, orange. Just this is a great tone where you can throw on different colors of stuff to accent your house. They're timeless and classic, so they really don't go out of style. You know, you can never have too much tan or too much nudes in your home. And then also, like I said before, textures, different feelings, different things that you can do in the room to help it feel warm and inviting. And we would call this design vibe warm, grounded, and calming. Now, this is going back to the textures and fabrics. Like I said, the different textures, you can use linen, you can use chenille. One thing that I love to do is mix textures. So for instance, you can do, I have a linen couch, but with suede statement chairs and then leather ottomans. So like mix and match as much as you can, as long as they're in the same color family. And it actually gives the living room, the bedroom, your whatever room you're doing, a lot of character because it's giving you different vibes to fill off versus it being so monotone in just one level. Like I said, it adds depth and dimension because you're layering the textures. Very comfortable. You feel cozy, lived in vibe, feels welcoming. Very versatile in the styling because of the colors and the different textures. Use pillows, throws, scarves, chairs, whatever you want to add dimension. And then elevate your neutrals. Even on a neutral color palette, Add texture so it doesn't fall so flat, like I said before, especially in staging and interior design. You don't want it to fall flat. So even if you have all the neutrals, if you add that texture, whether it's on the wall, whether it's on a throw, one thing that's really popular now are the texture rugs. I've found some amazing texture rugs that add and just make, you can leave the living room completely how it is, and you add this one piece of rug and it changes the whole room environment. So I'm totally right now into texture, different color, kind of neutral rugs. Here we go. So as I was saying, the textured artwork is a big thing right now. Instantly, you can see in the center for this room, it adds huge dimension color. You can choose any colors if you want to go lighter or darker. A lot of times we have family, friends, so you want to go lighter. Staging, you may want to go a little darker because you have people in and out. As much as we want to use booties, they don't always do. But there's just different ways to elevate the home. And when you add the textured equivalent on the walls, it makes a huge difference. As you can see, I have a little color guard in the corner, which just shows you how many different ways you can go. You can actually go anywhere from like very, very light beige to even whites and creams, all the way to like a very dark brown, burgundy orange, but it's very fluid in the colors that you can use. And one thing to note is if you notice, another thing that I want to talk about is that from all the other kind of things that have the five different trends that I'm talking about, there's still kind of carry through in all of them. So you'll see a lot of the circular work, a lot of the soft tones, the wooden is still in these. So there's a lot of stuff of the different trends that are actually playing in together. So don't feel like you have to do one trend or the other, but you can mix and match and do so many different things with all of these trending things. And of course, there's more than five. So everyone is different and wants to do their own, but these are some of the trending ones for 2025. These are just some ones we did currently where you see a lot of these neutrals and tones, different textures, different things going on. So on to bonus micro trends in AI. So these are just small, little different trends that are happening, but you have to realize in the world we are, everything is moving so fast, right? So a lot of times we are inspired by social media. So we will honestly change things so quickly. So pop culture, TikTok, Pinterest, we're like, oh, this is the newest thing out. This is the newest thing out. One thing to be careful about is, yes, let's do it. Go for the fun new stuff. But don't do it for really costly or large permanent features. Do it in ways that you can get rid of in 6 months to a year, right? Versus our very classic statement pieces. So if I want to add all this bright color, maybe we do it with pillows and accent lamps, even artwork, right? You can find artwork on a budget. So finding different things that will change, or even like the mushroom lamps that are very popular right now. But just be very thoughtful when you're changing and making some of these very short-term changes that we think are super cool right now. They may not always last for a long term, which is why you should always ask your interior designer or stager, because we can help you with some of those decision makings. A lot of times we see trends after the fact, and we catch them at different times. So there may be a trend that's actually phasing out and you don't know about, and you're just catching on to, but it's actually like leaving kind of the scene. So there's so many different dynamics there with the micro trends. Um, Few things here. Like I say, statement ceilings, they're fun. Warm metal finishes, artisan and handcrafted decor. Vintage is really fun right now. A lot of people are going to secondhand stores and finding like a super cool couch or a super cool accent chair and then just refinishing it with new material. And that's a great way to find some fun stuff. And once again, like I said, big curves and corners on furniture. As you see in this picture, we have kind of it all. We have the wood, we have the accent light, we have the curves, we have the pop of color. So we kind of have almost every trend happening in this picture at once, but makes for a beautiful room. Statement lighting is another huge piece that you can do in different dynamics. Oversized right now, sculpture light fixtures, they almost double play as a sculpture in your house, and it's just your light fixture. So there's a way to make these be your statement piece versus adding a second piece. A lot of mixes of metals and textures, and lights both as function and focal art. So you also want the light to be functional. You don't want to just put a light there because, oh, I think this is going to be cute in the house. You also want to make sure that it has a purpose and it's not just taking up space. So make sure it's both functional and focal. All right. Lastly, on to AI. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. But I'm sure all of you are aware there is nothing without AI now. We can't do any conversation. We can't talk about anything without AI. But it actually has a lot of fun things and features that it can actually help with interior design and staging. So you can create content, it creates visuals, layouts, it creates animations, hyper personalization. It can design and adapt instantly to your individual user's preferences and behaviors. It can add context in real time, like right here in the moment. Multimodal design integration. It combines text, images, audio, and video seamlessly to create immersive sensory design experiences. Sustainable design optimization. It helps you to create your energy efficiency and material use. It can help you also like think, do I need this in my room? Do I need this kind of lighting? Do I need to change my thermostats? So it's more than just what we see, but it's also the back end stuff that's helping your home run efficiently. And then automated accessibility for anyone who needs a very accessible home. It can give us ideas on how to enhance a house to be accessible. And of course, this design vibe is all elements because AI is all inclusive. In action. So this is how we could use AI today as an interior designer or a home staging platform. So design visualization, you can actually pick, like, so when we go to do staging, I want to do what makes my owner, my realtor, the seller, everyone happy. So, and everyone's vision is very different. So this is something that we can do is actually use these platforms so that we can see elements of the AI production in real time. So not only are we saving time because we're actually seeing what's going to look like long term, we're saving money from moving furniture in that we don't like. We're saving from adding or breaking down a wall that we don't want to do. So this way, it's helping us to actually see real time in a very cost effective way of what we want the design to look like and actually do it. We're very visual people. So without seeing it, for instance, I was a hard time buying my home because I didn't want to buy the one that wasn't a model because I couldn't see it. So it's a lot of time people need to see stuff. So I think that's a very positive platform that we can use so that you can test different colors, furniture, lighting actually before committing with any money. Color palette and style recommendations. This tools like Color Snap, Visualizer, Sherwin-Williams, all of these, you can go and put all the different colors you want in your house. You can see it before actually committing and paying for the paint and the painters and the people and everything. You can see it before it happens. Furniture and decor suggestions. A lot of stores actually offer this now, believe it or not. You can walk into the store, you can put your room in there with pictures of your room, and then you start placing the furniture, and you're like, okay, I like this, I don't like this. It also helps when you're thinking about placement and size. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. I'll go for a stage and they'll be like, oh, we want this look, this look. And I'm like, well, can it fit this size dining room table? And can it fit this extra space? So you have to be really thoughtful about sizing and placement of items. And also when you're staging or doing interior design, you don't want the stage or the design to feel not at home or too compact. You actually want to give the best of that space with what's in it and also feeling home, cozy, and also having some space to live. Market-driven decision making. This is a great thing. So this is not really on the actual physical front part, but it's actually learning about what's going on, as Ria hit on earlier. It's very important to know what's going on with that community. What are the houses selling for next door? What are the styles that the neighbors look? But actually taking the time to figure out what does this community like? What would this home buyer like? What is the style? So actually taking all those components and plugging into an AI program that can help us be more decisive in what we're picking when we're actually designing or staging that home. Workflow automation. This is just for like budgeting and timing and making sure we're following things on time and we can get it complete when we have 5 other stages or we have other jobs to do and we're making sure that we're staying on timelines and hitting budgets and things of that sort. Keep us on track, almost like a project manager, but electronic. And then of course, photo enhancement. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do this as well, but when you get the photos and there's something not in place or there's a glitch on the wall or you want to take something off and you don't want it to be on the photos that you're going to post, AI is a great example of that. And then just chatbots, answering questions, scheduling consultations for your team, just doing a lot of stuff virtually before we actually get to the process of designing and staging. So why use us? First of all, for everything I already told you. Hopefully you see that I'm on top of the trends. I like to really use a lot of different materials. I like to use different stores. I like to use different products. I try everything. Own all of our property. So everything comes and we have it so we can go pick and choose what we want. Numerous storage facilities so we can make your dreams come true. Like I say, unmatched experience, industry speak. Farah, she's been in this kind of realm for a long time. Myself, I've been in for quite a few years, but I have been doing a lot of the styling, the staging, the decor, and things of that sort, just not in the owner business capacity. We tailor to you. We're here to make you happy. Like I say, everything is about you and your sale and making sure that we do what makes it the best for you and the seller. No two properties are the same. I say this all the time. Someone will say, well, what was it for this house or what for this house? Every house is different. So I need to walk in there and see it. This house may require 2 living rooms, but it's the same square footage as somewhere else. So we never know. And I also want to go in there and be like, what is the perfect furniture for this place? As soon as I walk in, Farrah can tell you my head starts clicking. I'm like, oh, this would be beautiful here. This would be beautiful there. We're also revamping our furniture. I just went and made a very large investment again this week on new property, making sure that we do hit all of those 2025 trends and we're not falling behind the trends. But we're here, like I say, to custom create all of your staging plans. I even put stuff in, and if you're like, this isn't really what I was looking for, we will come replace it. We will change it. About 90% of our properties have not gone over 45 to 60 days. Proud to say the one we just did last week sold within the first few days. So that was super exciting, except that I had to destage it so quickly within less than a week. But I am happy to see the sell and continue building a relationship with that team. Who benefits from staging and interior design? Everybody, to be real, right? Homeowners, real estate people, designers, developers. A house empty does not sell, right? It's not sell at the speed. It's just like people need to see. We're all visual human beings. We need to see what's the inspiration. And even if it's not the same as my inspiration, people need to be able to walk in and say, okay, I love this. We've done offices, we've done kids' rooms, we've done workout rooms. So this helps you visualize, even if it's not your vision, the potential of many of these properties. And a lot of people just don't have that. If you don't have this really creative and visionary mind, it's hard to just walk into an empty room and say, okay, I can do this. So I definitely think that no matter what, a staged home helps sellers really, really believe, okay, this is my home. How to apply these trends? Design on a budget. Like I was saying, you don't have to have all expensive pieces. You can have some really nice pieces, but then throw in some beautiful, bold colored pillows. And then also realize that staging is very different than personal. So if we're talking about interior design and if we're remodeling your home, that's going to be a very different investment. We're talking about you being there for years, and this is what you're thinking about. So we have to think about it in two different ways. Is this a temporary stage and we're trying to get sellers? Or is this our home? So yes, I want to be very more methodical. I want to be very more persistent and precise on, okay, do I really want this nude color wall? Will I love it in 3 years? So those are the two different hats that we have to wear. Are we making this a long time investment or is this staging investment? And those look very different, right? Personal living, we want to make very bold, decisive, okay, we're doing this. I am putting this accent wall on my fireplace and we are putting it there forever, right? Where staging is like, oh, if we don't like this, we can change this. It's not as, permanent. So you want to be thoughtful of that with that comparing the interior design to the actual staging. For investors and designers, you want us to stage to whatever's going to sell fast, right? But you also want us to make the home and look and feel like it's a newer home. Like, oh wow, this has the newest couch in it and it has all of this new design and decor. It's on trend with the other homes in the community. And okay, this is it. Like that's what we're here to do. So it's very two different sides of the coin with depending on what you guys have called to ask for us to do. And this is just one of the things that I say, partnering with us. It means working with trusted results driven. I go back to my customers all the time. If they're unhappy, I will go make you happy. I will change things. We prioritize quality. I really care about our name and what it carries. I do not want any stage to be not top tier. I don't want you to brag about it to your friends. I want you to be like, they came and they did an amazing job and it looks stunning. And like I say, we customize everything to each one of you and measurable success. And at the end of the day, we're here to make your spaces as market ready as possible, and we want the buyers to fall in love with it. That's it. Any questions?
OMG, all I have to say is that is why I use you guys because I was inspired by every slide.
Thank you.
I was definitely inspired by every slide and just looking at and thinking about um what I could do like with my living room. I totally love the fact that colors are coming back in. The idea with the pop of color, I mean, that is so doable, in the space. And then, if it goes away, you're just getting rid of a picture and a couple of chairs. So thank you so much for taking the time to share that with us as we kick off National Homeownership Month. I want to open it up and just see if there are any of our guests that may have some questions. And if you didn't capture all of the video today, it will be on the Cotton Realty YouTube page. So it'll be on the Cotton Realty YouTube page. So you'll see it, you'll be able to see it again. But are there any questions so far on what you guys seen up until this point? Feel free to ask any questions. No questions? Uh-oh. You're on mute, Vera.
Oh, I think Toy hit everything.
She really did. She really did. I'm like, yes, I love it. I love it all. And so, and what I really love about it is that there may be some things on one trend that I could do in my office, but then do a totally different trend in my living or dining room. So, and then, have it all flow together, of course, with the help of Regal Style Staging.
Well, we do want to thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity and to have us here. And I want to also thank everyone who's joined today.
Thank
I
you.
do have a
And
question. Are we? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Claudia.
Hi, this is Claudia. What is your typical timeline for projects? Well, usually just staging. Do you
Start to
have a?
finish, like when I start a project, how long it takes me to finish?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a 2-day stage.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I
great.
try
Thank you.
not to
That's
ever,
helpful.
I actually try one a lot of times. Like I say, I get a lot of
Oh my
different
gosh.
areas. So longer areas, but I do ask for two, just because for me, I like to walk back into the space and I feel very different when I come in it the next day. When I'm in it the first day, I'm really just concerned about getting everything up. And then when I walk
Mhm.
back in it, I'm moved and I'm like, oh wait, no, this plant will look so much better. Or this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm averaging a 2-day to give myself that space. Much larger units, just maybe 3 because we want to like move and switch furniture. But yeah,
Right.
the average is like I say,
That's a
2
really
to 3 days.
fast turnaround. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Where are you pretty much anywhere in the East Bay? Is that what I'm imagining? Where are you
Actually,
located by you?
no, we go far. So we'll go South Bay as much as to like San Jose. We've gone all the way to like the Tri Valley, so Brentwood. We'll
Okay.
go all the way up to like Fairfield, Vallejo. I've done Concord. Right now we have Concord, Berkeley, Oakland, Hayward. So I'm all over the Bay Area.
Dang.
I'll go
Okay,
San
good.
Francisco. So there's not really much limits. I don't know. Like SAC is probably a push. But
Yeah.
everywhere in
I
like
think Claudia does a lot of sack.
No, that was I think I lost a few deals, but
send
no,
me an email,
trying to
Claudia.
stay in the
I'll check
East
the
Bay, in the
address
Bay
for you.
Area.
We might be able to make it work. We can test it out. But yeah, I mean, I've done Fairfield and I've done Brentwood, right? So they're all within an hour or two. So I'm pretty,
Okay.
flexible. We would just have to figure it out. I'd probably make that a 1.5-day stage just because I don't have to drive to sack twice.
Right. And I did have a particular client that did not want somebody to come in. I'm assuming you have to go physically to the space, but would you be willing to do, virtual um assessment of it? That was a very peculiar situation, but I guess I'll just contact you directly because you usually, I guess my question is, you of course have to go there in person to do the consultation, right?
Yes. So, yes, the majority I do want to get into the space, right? Because I need to
Yeah,
see what's going to be required, the actual sizes. For someone who is much further in this case, um, if I could get quality good pictures of like the square footage and like videos of each room, just to make sure I'm not overlooking anything, I could probably, make something work. So I'm happy to do a virtual assessment for you, especially for those who are further. I don't want to drive as far as
yeah,
many times if I don't have to either. So yeah, I'm definitely
right.
open up to it. It's definitely not like a no, we can't do virtual. I would just need to make sure that I got actual photos of what it looks
Yeah,
like. I've had some people send me just like photos of the living room. Like, no, I need to see all of the space so that I can make an honest decision.
videos.
More so
Mhm.
being able to pull the furniture. I have to go to storage and make sure I'm pulling everything I need. For instance, example was it was a small house. We didn't think it had a whole lot to it. I did go see it in person, thank God, but it actually had a different like a kitchen space. So in my mind, when they told me the house, I would have just had one dining room table. But when I got there, I realized I needed two. So it's little things like
Right.
that people overlook. They're like, oh, it's just a 1,400 square feet. I'm like, well, no, I need to see it because no one, it's that just seeing it in person. It's like, oh no, this needs an actual bench here at the door. This needs an extra seating area here. So I want to make sure that every space filled and homely. So I just like need accurate photos if you could get me that, then I can probably give you a good number without having to go see it in person.
Okay. Yep. Alrighty. Thank you. Those were all my questions. And thanks for this awesome presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I have a question. This is Lenice.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Lenise.
Hi. I'm into colors. I like colors. So if I was to do a purple living room, what colors would go with purple? And would I do the couch purple or accent the couch with color pillows, or what colors go with purple?
I would accent the couch with purple, just because I feel like you may not want to live with a full purple couch for 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
especially if it's in your own home. But there are definitely different ways that you can add that in. You can, and it doesn't have to be pillows. It can be throws. It can be beautiful artwork. It can be vases where you
Uh-huh.
put like some greenery in, and it's just like a really rich, deep purple, nice ceramic vase. And you
Yeah.
add some like greenery and some of these beautiful white flowers in, and you draw all that purple in. But then say you don't want purple there for Christmas, you can
Uh-huh.
pull those pillows off, you can pull the vase off, and then you maybe add a deep red or green. So you don't have to live with that color all the time. Whereas if you
Yeah.
buy it as one of your permanent statements, gets a
Mm-hmm.
little more tricky.
Right.
Because then you have to buy everything that goes with the purple couch. Versus
Yes.
the opposite, you buying everything that goes with maybe one of the neutral or monotone, and then adding any color you want at any time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think that's all of our questions. So again, thank you so much for joining us to kick off our Real Estate 360. And I want to wish everyone a happy National Homeownership Month. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.